Up next on The Bottom Line, some county residents get a life-saving lesson in the event of an opioid overdose.
You want to own Narcan because you want to be able to save your child's life.
An alternative spring break program where students plant the seeds for the future.
We're committed to ensuring that kids have an opportunity to get meaningful service learning opportunities.
And we'll meet a top Montgomery County teen who is leaps ahead of his time.
There are no limits to what we can achieve through education and through educating everyone.
And we go to Clarksburg, where residents kick off spring with a kite flying extravaganza. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kenedy. Montgomery County is committed in doing its part to combat the opioid epidemic, and part of that effort includes training on how to use a life-saving drug in an overdose situation. It's widely known that a dose of Narcan can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose in a matter of minutes. First responders carry the drug with them on all calls, but Montgomery County is giving residents the opportunity to save a life as well.
So you're doing no harm by giving them a dose or two of the Narcan, and I'll show you how to use that.
The county is offering free training to community members so they can step in and help a person who is overdosing on opioids right away.
And certainly here in Montgomery County, we've hit the full breadth and depth of the whole population, come to these trainings. So again, it would be definitely family members, it would be peers of users, it would be people in recovery now, it would be police, nurses, social workers.
We know that if Narcan is administered and administered in a timely way, it saves lives. And people make mistakes if the Narcan is not there.
If the first dose doesn't work for some reason, you have a second dose, just go to the other nostril.
It becomes a permanent mistake. If you can bring somebody back and you can get that person into counseling and get that person some help, maybe this is the time that a person realizes they have to make changes in their life.
Each of these is 4 milligrams.
Dr. Abby Morris is the medical director for the county's overdose response program. She says community members who are trained to administer the drug
Take it out. It looks like this.
Are key to reversing the trend of overdose deaths.
Fingers here. Okay, put your fingers here, on the bottom. So we have people who come from the shelters, people who come from libraries. Place it in the nose. I've been encouraging people to come from McDonald's and Starbucks because that's the bathrooms in which people are overdosing. And then you can withdraw that. So it's been exciting to see people get excited about what we're doing. I appreciate the county so much for wanting to do this. Again, as a physician, I've seen people dying in the ER. I've seen patients who've come after, serious overdoses, parents who've lost children. I have a private patient who lost her son to an overdose, and I see how that year after year after year still plays out in all of their lives. I mean, one life touches so many others. And so it is a good feeling to know that when people leave here, they're empowered to do something.
Since implementing the program in 2014, the county has trained more than 700 residents on how to administer Narcan, and the demand is growing. The classes can hold up to 30 and usually fill up. At the end of each class, there's a test. If you pass,
perfect. You did well in school, I can tell.
You leave the training with your own personal Narcan kit.
After you've given Narcan, they're in withdrawal. They don't feel so good. They probably don't want to eat. They may ask for some water, things like that.
Well, I just see how many lives it's affecting, especially mothers. I had seen some media about that earlier, so that really emotionally triggered me.
I've been aware of all the news reports recently about the opioid problems in this area and around the country. And because I'm a member of the Montgomery County CERT, I also had that interest. We, of course, are concerned with saving lives if necessary and assisting the public, definitely. And this would be just another facet.
We work with families with kids with mental illness, and so it could be a possibility that we might be at a family's home, and this could be something that would be valuable for us. I don't know much about it, so I guess I'm here to be educated also.
Dr. Morris says before someone administers Narcan, they should try and wake the person first.
And you're going to wake them up. Hey, Annie, hey, you, what's going on? You all right?
And of course, call 911 after administering the drug.
You don't know how far away the emergency response team is going to be. 30 to 90 minutes, this is going to wear off. So you might give Narcan, and if you've waited too long to call 911 and they're on their way and it takes them 45 minutes to an hour for some reason to get to you in this traffic, the Narcan could wear off and they could go back into being dead.
Currently in Maryland, you can purchase Narcan over the counter, but not all pharmacies carry the drug.
If I go to my local CVS,
Jacob Melamed is a clinical psychologist who recommends his patients who have a child with an opioid issue get training on using Narcan.
I see a number of parents who are bewildered about what to do when they discover their children are dependent on opioids. And my first recommendation is, as a Christmas gift, as a birthday gift, as an anniversary gift, as a gift to yourself, you want your child and you want to own Narcan because you want to be able to save your child's life, or your child should be in a situation to self-administer or have a friend administer. It's the best gift you can give someone who's struggling with opioid dependence.
To find out when the county will be holding its Narcan classes, visit the event calendar. Recently, it was spring break here in Montgomery County, and while many students take time to relax with friends and family, we found a group of high school students who use their time off to give back. It may not look like it, but at the Red Wiggler Farm in Germantown, it's spring break. Instead of heading to the beach or the slopes,
guess what we're gonna do today? Plant potatoes!
These Montgomery County students are getting their hands dirty as part of the annual Alternative Spring Break program.
Well, at Red Wiggler Community Farm, we're committed to ensuring that kids have an opportunity to get meaningful service learning opportunities. And one way to achieve that is to have kids come out multiple days for multiple hours. We love it when kids get the bulk of their service learning hours done in one place, preferably at Red Wiggler. And that helps them develop relationships and a connection to the people that work here on the farm.
Red Wiggler employs adults with developmental disabilities. They are the growers at the farm. For the Alternative Spring Break program, each grower is paired with a high school volunteer where they learn the ins and outs of farming. Katie Younghands helps coordinate the program.
We took a little tour this morning for their orientation, and then they started working around 10, and they'll work until noon. We're planting potatoes, as you can see, and everyone divides up. You can see how the farm managers try to mix the volunteers and the growers and staff all together, so people are working in small teams together. And we'll take a break. Water break is pretty important here because we want to make sure people are all still on board, and we kind of check in with everyone to make sure they're okay, and make sure their pairing is working out all right.
On our visit to the farm, David and Joe were teamed up for the day to plant potatoes. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with Joe. You're sort of teaching him what to do here today.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
What we're doing is I'm teaching him how to plant potatoes today.
Okay.
And we're trying to plant all the potatoes that we have, which is Red Gold, Desire, a few other names.
Could you have maybe gone on spring break somewhere warm with your friends? Why did you choose to do this?
Well, the boring answer is that we had no alternative plans, but also I really do enjoy doing volunteer work and helping and giving back to the community, and I think that it's really special when you know that the things you're doing are helping the people in the community around you.
And for Joe, the experience has given him a new perspective on agriculture.
I didn't know how specific you had to be with spacing for things like potatoes, for example. I didn't put this much thought into the rows and everything along those lines, and it's really opened my mind to all the complicated sciences of agriculture.
And David, tell me about, do you like helping them and teaching them?
I love teaching them. I like to help them learn different about how to plant potatoes.
Often students that come to volunteer at Red Wiggler think that they're going to help people learn new skills, our growers with developmental disabilities to learn new skills. What they really find out is that the growers here at Red Wiggler know more than they do, And our growers with developmental disabilities become the teachers and instructors. And they guide students who are typically developing as through their tasks. Today it's planting potatoes. Another time it might be transplanting plants out in the field. Our growers have been doing it longer than these students have, so they have something to offer, and that can be really enriching when you realize that everyone's got something to offer, and that's one of the underlying lessons we like to deliver.
There are hundreds of Montgomery County residents of all ages who are working to make a difference in our community. In our FaceTime segment, we meet a young man who is using his multicultural background to connect fellow students.
My name is Vikram Akwe. I am a senior at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. I am of Ghanaian Indian heritage. I am a firm advocate of education as a vehicle for societal change. I think that there are no limits to what we can achieve through education and through educating everyone.
In 8th grade at Westland Middle School, Vikram noticed a classmate who he knew was a diligent worker having trouble with an assignment and wasn't getting any help. And that's how his idea for the high school success program came about.
You know, and in that moment, I went up to her and we worked through blank by blank and problem by problem to sort of figure out that worksheet. Peers, helping peers, and students who might have grown up here, students from different backgrounds coming together and helping each other, you know, learn new disciplines and learn new things.
The high school success program takes place for 3 weeks during the summer, and each year it moves to a new high school. The program focuses on not only preparing students for the upcoming academic year, but it works to build bonds between the mentors and mentees and the students in the program, many of whom are from different backgrounds. Vikram says members of the group enable each other to dream big and pursue those goals.
There's this idea that if you are of certain backgrounds, and whether those be socioeconomic or ethnic, that you should sort of strive to achieving and to a mediocrity in some sense. And so, you know, oh, you're doing just fine, stay where you are, don't push yourself too much. And I was, you know, I've never liked that. I think that there's so many of my peers who are from different backgrounds with such incredible potential, from whom I've learned so much. And so the high school success program really aims to encourage students to excel and to push themselves to really take ownership of their own education.
There are currently more than 30 students from various backgrounds who have participated in this new program, and Vikram hopes the interest will spread. He has personally reached out to the guidance counselors at several other county high schools, and his message is the high school success program approaches the student on a more holistic level, addressing the whole person rather than a specific issue.
And, you know, also I think that it's important to have not only myself, but so many others like me who are doing so many great things as real testaments to the fact that your ethnicity and your background is no deterrent at all from doing anything that you want to do. And in fact, it can help you build bridges. It can help you connect so many different communities and people. The abilities that you have to bring people together, that I think is something unique that my heritage and my background affords me to do.
Right now, Vikram is wrapping up his senior year serving as SGA president, a member of the school's track team, and a participant in school musicals. Though he graduates this spring, he knows he has laid the groundwork for something that will build a new dimension in student success.
We want everybody to feel like they're at school for a reason. They're at school to pursue their dreams.
Well, that wraps up this edition of The Bottom Line. We leave you with our Montgomery moment, scenes from the recent Kites over Clarksburg Festival. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting a little windy. You got it.